Hello, 7th graders. This is your overview for World Civ this year. And if you are also taking language arts, um, in 7th grade you'll have me, and if you're taking both semesters, you will hear this lots of times. But anyway, here we go. It's not too long, and you have to answer a few questions at the end to get credit for this assignment, and you'll get a 100% and you can go on. So, World Civ 700, both A and B. You may already know by now, my name is Mrs. Hool. You can remember it because it rhymes with pool. And of course, I will be your history teacher this year. I also teach middle school English and high school French at Icon. Please contact me if you have any questions or concerns about this course. Here's my schedule and my contact information. My hours are generally 8 to 4 during the week, Monday through Friday, Mountain Time. So if you live in North Idaho, keep that in mind. You're on Pacific Time and it will be a little bit different from my time. I have a live office for help or questions. You can just pop in Mondays and Wednesdays, 1 to 2 p.m. Mountain Time. There's a link for you to enter there. And also on the Icon School calendar on Mondays and Wednesdays, there is the appropriate link. You can click on that, and I will be there. And you can either type in to talk to me in the little text box, and I can talk back to you, or you can open your mic and talk to me. Whatever. There isn't a webcam. We're just there talking. So there is my email address also for you to get a hold of me, and my phone numbers. I do have two phone numbers for you to try because one is my cell phone and one is my home phone. My cell phone doesn't work when I'm working from home, so and then when I'm working in my office, obviously I don't have my home phone. So you do need to try both numbers if you need to get a hold of me, and you do need to leave messages on both, because if I'm at home and then it's a Friday over the weekend, I won't get your message until Monday. So if it's important, leave messages on both phones, and if I'm busy with another student, I will know to get back to you right away. All right, so what is World Civ about? World Civilization 700 examines the growth of human society from our earliest beginnings to the present. Students will study such topics as agricultural societies, ancient civilizations, empires, trade, and migration. Goals for this course include identifying the geographic locations in which early humans lived, examine the immediate and long-term effects of agriculture on human history, identify the main characteristics of civilizations, describe the rise and fall of empires, identify the significant discoveries of the Age of Exploration, identify the inventions of the Industrial Revolution, examine the causes of World War I, discuss the effects of the Great Depression, identify the major events of World War II, describe the relationship between the United States and the Soviet Union during the Cold War, describe globalization and the influence of new technologies on the global culture. You will compare and contrast traditional command and market economic systems. So, additional resources that you may need. Of course, you need internet access to complete this course. You'll need access to an encyclopedia, either online access or a hard copy. And to get free access to encyclopedia, just go to Google and type in encyclopedia, and several will come up, reliable ones like Encyclopedia Britannica or World Book, things like that. So you may also want to have paper in the form of a notebook and a pencil or pen to take notes. Studies have shown that writing things out helps you remember things 7 times more than just reading them. It's optional for you to have a printer, but you will need to complete study guides, so you can either save them as a document and complete them on your computer, or you can print them out and complete them by hand. You will also need access to a community, state, or national newspaper, which also may be online. All you would have to do is go to Google again and type in national newspaper, and you'd come up with Washington Post or USA Today, things like that. Or you can have your community or state newspaper. If you go to idahostatesman.com, there's another one online, or idahopresstribune.com. And then also you'll need access to a newspaper with a section on world news. So if in the previous bullet there you were using your community newspaper, you'll also need to have access to one with a section on world news. Okay, now about the actual course, your unit overviews. At the beginning of each unit, you will find an overview or what you will learn in that unit. Also included are study guides for each quiz and test in the unit, and some units have important links for readings or resources you'll need. You'll need to answer 2 questions to get credit for completing each unit overview. Not another easy 100. Your live class assignments. To help you with the more difficult assignments and projects, I have scheduled a live class assignment throughout the units. As the time gets closer for each assignment, I will insert a link for you either to attend the live class session or to watch a recording of it and call me for credit. I will also email you at the beginning of each week when the live classes will be held. You will be required to complete one of these options for credit for the assignment. You won't be able to do these assignments in advance, obviously, since it's a live class. That means, of course, that it is at a certain time, at a certain day, in a certain place online. And it's in the same place that my live office will be held. So I will insert a link and send you a link for that. Now, a note that your due dates for your live class assignment may not all be the same, and that is because some kids may be working ahead or at their own pace, or some kids may start at ICON at a different time. So if your due date doesn't coincide with the date that we have the live class assignment, that's why after the live class I put in the video for you to watch. So don't panic if you can't attend. You will get to watch the assignment on video, but after that you must call me for credit so I can verify what you've just seen in the video. Okay, the grading policy and weights for this class. If you're concerned about any assignments, your grade, or your progress, please contact me as soon as possible. I do expect you to read and study the lessons and complete all lessons, projects, quizzes, and tests in the order that they are due. Something new for ICON for the 15-16 school year. So if you were with us last year, this is new. It is the school-wide policy of ICON to reassign blank essay answers within lessons, quizzes, and tests. Students submitting blank essays will have these questions reassigned, and repeated blank essays will result in assignments being locked and may result in parent-teacher conferences to resolve this issue. So in other words, you can't just submit something blank. If it's on a quiz or test and you don't know the answer, at least give it a try. Okay? Because a lot of students have been turning in blank essays, and it's not okay. So you need to complete them. Even if you've gotten a passing grade on the assignment, you still need to do the essay or short answer. Okay, we'll talk a minute about plagiarism. Plagiarism is essentially copying someone else's work and making it your own. You will need to write any researched material in your own words. This is very important. Then you must include citations anytime you research or look up information. And it says see citation information below. I'll show you below how to cite your sources. Using a quote in your answer is not plagiarism if you use quotation marks, you keep it to 1 or 2 lines of text, and if you tell where the quote came from. If an assignment is plagiarized, it will be a 0, except for the first offense, and I'll give you a chance to redo in that case. And parents will also be contacted, and possibly ICON administration, depending on the situation. So all you have to do to avoid plagiarism is write things in your own words and cite your sources. It's not too hard. And in this day and age, it's easy for me to find out if you've plagiarized. So I'd advise against it because it's just going to be more work for you in the long run. Extra credit is available if you have no zeros and if you would like to improve your grade. Please contact me if you would like to consider extra credit. So the actual weighting. Lessons are worth 25% of your unit grade. You have 3 attempts to reach a score of at least 75% on each lesson. Your projects are also 25% of your unit grade. A blank project will be reassigned as a blank essay. So in the red information that we talked about above, a blank project is going to be considered as a blank essay, and it'll be reassigned until you complete it. And if you decide not to complete it after several reassignments, I'll have to block you and blah, blah, blah. So just turn in your projects. If you have a question about how to do it, I'm happy to help you. Quizzes are also 25% of your unit grade. You have 1 opportunity to complete quizzes and tests, so make sure you're prepared before you open them. And tests are also 25% of your unit grade, and again, you only have 1 opportunity to complete them, and make sure you're prepared. A note about projects, quizzes, and tests. Everything is weighted 25% of your grade, but since there are less projects, quizzes, and tests, they'll seem like they're worth more. So you will need to do really well on those, otherwise it will affect your grade. So reassigning quizzes and tests. And this is new from last year too. Alternate versions of quizzes and tests will be assigned if a student wishes to redo them for a better grade. This will be done at my discretion and most likely at the end of the unit. So, in other words, I'm not just going to reassign a quiz or a test, I'll give you an alternate version. Same material, different questions, no study guide. And speaking of study guides, new for the 15-16 school year, study guides will be actual lessons to be turned in before working on a quiz or test. An incomplete study guide will be treated as a blank essay. And it says see above. Same thing. They have to be complete. They have to not be turned in blank. Same thing as turning in a blank essay. Same policy. Okay, projects, which are in the form of charts, reports, essays, etc. Most of your projects must be completed as a document, like a Word document or OpenOffice document, which you will save and attach to your project assignments in order to submit. They will be graded with equal weight given to your content, your organization, and your conventions, which is spelling, grammar, and punctuation. Pay attention to the instructions in the project for length, organization, and content of your project essays and reports. If you have any questions on how to complete a project, please contact me right away. So some of the projects may have more confusing directions. Just ask me. Just send a message, saying how do I do this, or what is the best way to complete this if you're confused about what to do. Okay. We talked about plagiarism and citing your sources. Here's how to do it. Many projects will require that you research information from a book, newspaper, or website. Every time you use information that someone else has written, you must cite your sources to give the author credit. Please follow a citation style that includes at least these details. So for a book, magazine, or article, you need to list the author's last name, then first name, the title of the article or book, either underlined or italicized, and the publication date of the article or book. Here's an example book citation. Taylor, which is the author's last name, Sally Adamson, which is her first name, period. Culture Shock is the name of the book, and I underlined it there. 1990 is the publication date of the article or book. So if you've just written down the book or whatever, I'm going to say go back to the unit overview and see how to cite your source. Okay, also a little bit different from last year. I let you do it pretty much in any way you wanted to. This is how you need to do it this year. How to cite a website. A little bit different from a book. You put the author's last name and then first name, if there is one. You'll have to search around the website to make sure, because we're not just going to write down the website. Okay, the name of the book or article, if there is one, a lot of times there is, the date of the publication, the date you accessed the information, and that's what's different from citing a book or newspaper article. Then the URL address taken from the address bar. And below is an example of how to do it. It says netting, Ruth, last name, first name. Tropical Twisters is the name of the article that she wrote online, and I italicized that. Then it was published by NASA on 22 January 2003. That's the date of the publication. And then it says web. And then 30 August 2012 is the date you access the information. And then here's the URL address taken from the address bar. Do you see that? And that is when you get to a website, you see in the address bar, you're going to copy that and then paste it. You may not do this, just www.nasa.gov. Okay, that's not the URL address. That's the website. That's how to get to the website. You're going to do the website citation like I've written. Now, if there's no author's last name, first name, and you've looked around on the website for one, and there's no name of the book or article, then you are just going to cite it with the URL address. And, well, of course, and the date that you access the information. Okay, so, but if I go to your the URL address that you went to, and there is an author or there is a book or article, then you're going to just have to redo. So just do it the correct way in the first place, and I won't tell you to redo. Okay, so have a great semester. As usual, if you have any questions, please contact me, and don't forget to answer the 3 questions below and turn them in for credit for this assignment. And I will be seeing you soon. Bye.